Okay. Hi, everybody, and welcome to the class. Today we're going to read the new story, Pedro Puts on a Play, which is in your book. And we are going to be taking turns for reading, and then we are going to be discussing what is happening, what do you think. We're going to describe the characters, and I need Carlos Pavon to sit down, please. Beautiful, El caminando ahí. All right, thank you, Carlos. So let's start. Now, go to your page 140 of your book, and we are going to start with this. Remember that this is like a theater play, okay? So different people is talking at the same time. Okay, so the last time when we were reading the story, we saw that um, Pedro needs to give a presentation to his class, but he feels sad because he said, I have nothing special to share. And everybody needs to talk about their heritage, okay? Su herencia. But Pedro says, I have nothing special to share, Miss. I'm not going to have fun with this homework because I have nothing special. So he told his family, and they went upstairs and they found what? They found puppets. Remember the puppets they found? They found the puppets, and they were saying, you can talk about music, you can talk about the puppets, you can talk about many things. So Abuelo is helping Pedro to find out the things they need for the presentation. So today we are going to start with,
Mr. Caller,
Miss, can I read?
Miss, can I read?
Yes. So Carlos Pavon, read Pedro's father until here, until practical. You stop here.
Pedro's father. Your ideas are always great, abuelo, but this particular one isn't very particular.
Very good. So this one isn't very particular. You always had good ideas, but this one, I don't think it can work. So I'm gonna read what Abuelo said. Pedro's grandfather, my son, have you forgotten los títeres? Have you forgotten los títeres? ¿Ya te olvidaste? Have you forgotten? And Pedro and Miguel, los títeres. Pedro's grandfather, títeres means puppets. They are handmade Mexican marionettes. Handmade significa hecho a mano, handmade. They are painted in vivid colors and dressed on traditional Mexican characters. Okay, interesting. So they dress up the puppets with the clothes of the Mexican people. Now, I'm going to ask Diana to read this part. Pedro's father until to me.
Okay. Abuelo had an extensive collection of theaters. When I left Mexico, an immigrant to the United States, he, he gave them to me.
Very good. So Abuelo had a collection of títeres, right? But he left them in Mexico because he was going to United States of America. And he gave the títeres to Pedro's father when he was a boy. This is what happened, and this is what Pedro's father is saying. Abuelo is explaining, okay, your abuelo had a lot of títeres, and when he went to Mexico, he gave it to me. And they're special for our family. Now, Pedro's grandfather, I remember a cowboy puppet. A cowboy? Who can tell me what a cowboy is?
Tell me.
What is a cowboy? No es un toro, ¿eh?
Wait.
No es un chico vaca, ¿ok? Tampoco es un chico vaca. Es un vaquero, ¿ok? Cowboy es un vaquero. So I remember a cowboy puppet, a dancer with a shrilling skirt. And then Pedro's father said, and a mariachi musicians. And Pedro and Miguel, where are they now, papi? And Pedro's father, they are upstairs in the attic. Upstairs in the attic. Remember what an attic is, okay? So there is a tip here that I want Carla to read for us, please. The fluency tip, Carla. Share it with us, please.
Fluency tip. Practice reading aloud lines with unfamiliar words until you can read the words with accuracy.
Very good, thank you. So this is saying that sometimes in the books, we found words that are really difficult to pronounce, right? So a tip that is that we have to, before the class, we read the story. So when we are in the class, we can understand those, those words, or we can know how they are pronounced. There is an application that it's called Google Translate, and they help us to listen how the words are pronounced. So I am going to try it. I know you have tried it before. So I am going to put a text here. For example, the word unfamiliar, okay? For example, when you don't know how to pronounce a word, you can go to your app here, and there is a speaker on here. Hay un speaker aquí. So you
Sí, me lo pronuncia.
listen. Unfamiliar. So you can use that for when you don't know how to pronounce something. Unfamiliar. And there's others that are better than this application, but this is the most common that you can use. Or you can ask your misses or misters. Okay, so now the narrator. After dinner, I am going to pretend that I am the narrator, okay? After dinner, Pedro and Miguel find an old wooden chest in the attic. Okay, chest es como un cofre. This is a chest, okay? This is a chest. Okay. They found an old chest that is made of wood, madera, and is old. Their father, mother, and grandfather watch. Pedro reaches inside and pulls out a brightly painting puppet. Una marioneta con colores brillantes. Pedro gapes up the puppet. He's stunned and unable to speak at first because it was something so amazing, so incredible, so beautiful that he had no words to describe how happy he was. Like when you are so shocked, when they give you a surprise and you're like, I can't believe it, you're speechless. You can't say anything, okay? Now, Pedro said, Abuelo, it's beautiful. Now it's going to continue Valerie. You're mute, Valerie.
Miguel.
No, here.
Pedro grandfather. Pedro grandfather. It's a musician with a silver and black costume, just as I said.
Good. So, Pedro discovered that his abuelo was a musician with a black costume. What musician, qué músicos wear a black costume, guys, in Mexico? Do you know who are the musicians who wear a black costume in Mexico? Come on, think about it. Think about it. So I think that abuelo was actually a mariachi. But let's find it out, okay? I think so. And Pedro's father said, look at the strings. Remember strings. Now, Emily, can you read what Miguel said?
Miguel, there's one string to make each arm move, one to make each leg move, and one to make his head turn.
Very good. So, they discovered that the strings, que son like 3 cuerdas. Look at the strings. There's one string to make each arm move. So there's one string for this one and this one. So it's like a puppet, right? One to make each move and the other moves his head turn. Now, they discovered a puppet in the attic. Now, I am going to ask Jared Hernandez to read the part of narrator, please.
Okay, narrator. Pedro's grandfather reached he speak on several puppets and smile skernely.
Can you start over, please? Can you start over?
Okay.
Okay, please.
Pedro's grandfather reached reaches
Mhm.
into
The chest.
the shed. He picks
Mhm.
several puppets,
Puppet
puppets and smile,
smiles. Mhm.
smile is
Serenely.
currently
So that means that he was taking out all the puppets and he was smiling serenely like remembering all the good memories. And then Pedro's father, how exciting to see this again after so many years. These are reminiscence of my childhood in Mexico, yes?
quiere decir que yo tengo uno de esos.
I have a puppet. You have
I
a puppet?
have one puppet and for the house of my grandmother.
In the house of your grandmother. Wow.
My
That
is ¿cómo es? ¿Mimo? O algo, no sé cómo se dice mimo.
yeah, a mime.
A mime.
Mm-hmm.
The puppet.
Okay.
Un títere es de un mimo.
Yes. So a theater and a mime are different. They are different, guys, but they are like theater is like in this case we talk about that they are from Mexico, right? And sometimes we say that mimes are from French. So that just wait, I'm gonna answer this. Okay. Okay. So then Pedro said, Abuelo, did you really play with this when you were young? Are you for real? Like, did you play with this? And if you remember, guys, that toys from when you were little babies are way different than the one that your parents have. And probably you had toys, but your parents didn't because they used to play more outside. They were playing marbles, canicas. They were playing with a jumping rope. They were playing hide and seek and everything like that. So they were probably they didn't need toys. Yes, Carla?
Usted está diciendo de que antes nuestros padres jugaban con canicas, trompos, yoyos y con otros objetos de más y además jugaban con llantas antes de que existiera la tecnología.
Before that, yes. Well, we did have technology, but not like that because everybody now wants to play with telephones and PlayStations and Xbox and whatever thing they want to. But when I was a children, I used to play outside, okay? No playing outside in Minecraft, but playing outside in the street. But yes, okay, so I'm going to ask Brian now to read the Pedro's grandfather, this part.
Yes, my brother and I used to put on plays for our friends in our neighborhood or
Theatrical.
theatrical skills were legendary.
Legendary, very good. So Pedro's grandfather said, yes, my brother and I used to put this on play for friends. In our neighbor, our theatrical skills were legendary. Remember that legendary is something incredible, okay? Now, the narrator. I want Genesis to read that part of the narrator, please.
Pedro looks. Perdón, ¿cómo se dice esa palabra?
Pensive.
Pensive. There's in a
Suddenly.
Suddenly is ace.
Excited. There is an excited look in his eyes. So Pedro looks, it was like he's thinking, he's pondering on something. But then suddenly he right his eyes, there's something that is happening, okay? And then Pedro says something to Abuelo. And I want Elvin to read this, please. What Pedro said.
Abuelo, I have a great idea. I
did.
can put on a puppet show for my class.
Very good. And what did Abuelo said?
Perfect.
So he decided now, and thank you, Elvin, to took the puppets to the class. He was saying, I have nothing special to share. I am Latino. My culture is not funny, blah, 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 blah. But they didn't realize they have something from heritage in the family that were the puppets. So guys, let's continue with the other two parts of the story so we can finish them. So I'm going to start, okay? We have 18 more minutes, so we have enough time. So I'm going to ask Gabriel, please, to read this part. We are now in page 142. 142. Gabriel?
What part, miss?
This part, Pedro's father.
Pedro's father, maybe you can recruit your brother to help you. Pedro, Miguel, will you help me put on a play? Miguel, sure, what the play about, Pedro?
Okay, stop. So fast, thank you, Gabriel. So Pedro's father is saying, maybe you can help me. Okay, you can help do your brother to put all in the play. And Miguel says, sure, why not? So what are we gonna do? We're going to do a play, okay? In the play, es como una obra de teatro with the puppets. They're gonna do, I think they're gonna do that. So Pedro says, sure. What's in the play about? What it's going to be about, okay? What's the topic of the play? And Pedro says, it's about a boy who learns about his Mexican family heritage. Remember, heritage is the word for herencia. Thanks to his papi and his abuelo. So basically, they were going to redo the story of Pedro because he learned about his family and thanks to his papi and his abuelo. Now, narrator said, Pedro's father embraces abuelo Eduardo. Oh, now we know the name of the abuelo. What's the name of the abuelo, Carlos Pavón? No, but what's the name? Who can help Carlos?
Eduardo.
Eduardo.
Yo no le escucho nada, no escucho, no tengo
because you are talking. I see you.
No.
You're talking. Yes.
Mira, no hay nada.
I see you. I saw you talking when you are talking
Yo solita hablo.
with the
Yo
air.
solita.
With
Yo
the air.
solita.
Okay, so then we have, okay, I'm gonna ask something because nobody? Okay, so remember that this is the third generation of the puppets because that was that said here in this part. I am glad we saved that teachers. It's a family treasure, okay? I'm glad, I am happy that we saved the teachers because it's a family treasure. Now, I am going to be the narrator, okay? So I'm going to continue reading. Narrator. In this morning, in Miss Loyal's classroom, the cultural festival commenced. Pedro and Miguel stand in front of the class and finish their puppets day. They bow at the class applause, and bow means to do this. Thank you, thank you. This is bow. Inclinarse, or when we say thank you with our body in front. As the class applauds, they moved to the puppet's string to make them bow too. Y también hicieron que las marionetas se inclinaran para dar las gracias. And then all the class said, that was a great play. That was a great play. So they were really happy with the kids, with Pedro and Miguel, because they shared that. And then one of the kids said Naomi, and I am going to ask Emily to read what Naomi said, please.
Naomi, where did you get those puppets, Pedro?
Where do you get those puppets, Pedro? Okay.
Continue,
Now,
Miss.
no. And then Pedro, thank you, Emily. And then Pedro say, from our father. Our father gave it to us. And then Raymond, and I'm going to ask Carla to read who Raymond is.
How did you learn how to make them move?
How did you learn how to make them move? ¿Cómo aprendiste a hacerlos mover? And then now we can see, Carla, that Raymond is one of the classmates, is one of the students of Pedro's class. And then we have Pedro, our abuelo taught us, okay? No tacos, okay? Our abuelo taught us. That means nos enseñó. Nuestro abuelo nos enseñó. And then all the class said, we like the cowboys. Nos gustan los vaqueros. And Naomi say, I like the dancer. And Raymond again say, you will teach us how to make them move? Okay, and this is a picture of them showing them to the class about, look at that. The cowboys, and everybody is stunned about everything. Okay, so I'm going to ask Carlos Pavon to read the next part. What Pedro said?
Pedro, sure, it's not hard. Let's put on another play. Narrator, Mr. Lloyd stepped up to the front of the class. Mr. Lloyd, Pedro, your presentation was wonderful. Miguel, thank you. Miguel, you're welcome. Mr. Lloyd, you are two very skilled puppeters.
Puppeters.
¿Cómo?
Puppeters.
Puppeter. Pedro, thanks, Mr. Lloyd. We inherited our skill from our abuelo. It runs in the family.
Very good. So they were saying, everybody was standing, applauding and everything. And the miss, okay, this is not a mister, it's a miss, okay? I'm going to explain this right now. She's saying, very good, you did a great job. And they're saying, thank you. We inherited the skills. Heredamos estas habilidades from our abuelo. It runs in the family, está en la familia. Like, do you remember this movie Coco? When he likes to play the guitar because he saw his abuelo playing the guitar as well. There are some things, guys, that you have, your great grandfather, sorry. There is some things that your parents can do, that your grandparents can also do, and that you can do, and your grandchildren and your sons are going to be able to do it. Okay?
Miss, one question. What is your birthday?
When is my birthday?
Okay. Yes.
My birthday is in November 27th. After we leave the school.
6
Okay.
días después de salir a la escuela.
Yeah. Oh, but that's
Ay, no, qué mal para no celebrarle.
yeah.
Mi cuando salimos de la escuela, mi.
November 20th.
20 o 21.
En noviembre, mis.
November 20, yes. But think about it. It's just 5 weeks, guys. Because
Y en octubre van a salir las demás escuelas.
we are going to, no, nobody can leave that. But let me explain you something.
A divertirse, mis.
I'm going to stop